today we're going to discuss why has the US never bought a single ounce of gold since 1980 or either sold a single ounce of gold since 1980. Why has the Fed not done this? So if anyone's seen any animal programs like David Attenborough stuff, you see when there's an animal wanting to be, a predator's trying to attack it, it will just freeze. It will just freeze, it won't move, it will see if the predators know what's going on. If they're close, then it'll run, but for a long time it will just not move. That's how it works in nature. And so that's very similar to what US has done. The US's main strength is the US dollar. It's not their arms or their army or anything, it is simply the US dollar and the weaponizing of that, as we've seen with Russia, kicking them off of SWIFT, imposing sanctions, all of that. It's all about weaponizing the US dollar. So what happened with the US and gold? So we all know, very briefly, the US was basically on a gold standard from Bretton Woods from 1944 until 1971. It left Bretton Woods system in 1971 after basically it couldn't keep up $35 an ounce as the French were cashing in their dollars and asking for the gold, and the US basically has no gold. It officially has the world's largest reserves at 8,400 ounces, tons of gold, 8,400 tons of gold, which is by far the world's largest. But there's never been an audit of Fort Knox. No one's ever gone in. No one's audited that amount ever. So it's simply, you have to take the Fed at its word. And the fact that for all the 60s, the French were going in and cashing in, and even at the end, the Germans were cashing in their dollars for gold, and that broke the gold system. You can guess they really obviously took it to the end. And just a few years ago, the Germans wanted their gold that they had deposited in America, and the Americans said, yeah, give us about 7 years to get that to you. So you can figure out what's going on there. Anyway, why hasn't it bought any or sold any? And the reason is, as our little animal demonstrates, they're scared of the perception. The whole point of the US dollar is to say, don't look at gold, don't look at real money, look at us. That's not real money. The dollar is real money. That's all they've got to do. They've got to pretend that they've got something of substance, that it's real money, the US dollar. So they cannot allow anyone or any focus to go on gold. And so that's why they've never sold any. If they sell any gold, then people would be, whoa, they're selling gold to prop up their currency, which means there's a problem with the US dollar. Let's all buy gold and dump the US dollar and buy gold. So they couldn't do that. Neither can they buy gold either, because that gives legitimacy to gold. So then people go, look at that, they're buying gold, which means it is a real asset. So therefore we'll also all buy gold. And so therefore they can neither sell, because it shows something's wrong with their thing, and they can neither buy. Additionally, the fact they hold so much, on paper so much gold, actually it props up the US dollar. It gives some legitimacy to the US dollar to say there is actually some real assets behind that. And so that's why the US dollar really, the US government hasn't even allowed the Fed to revalue their gold assets. It's still fixed at $42 an ounce there. It should obviously be $3,400, $400 an ounce. But they refuse to let them to revalue it. So it's actually valued at 11 billion when it should be like 1 trillion. That would be the reality, but they won't allow them to do that because they don't want anyone looking at gold. They don't want anyone looking at it. And so what's shocking to them now is the gold has gone up about 25% in the last few months, mainly by China dumping their US assets and moving into gold, and all other central banks doing so. It's been a few years they've been doing that, and that is scaring the US a lot now. So they've used the paper gold market to fake cover up anything in the market, but the fact is the real assets out there are being bought, and it could lead, in the end, it could lead to a crack in the US dollar if it keeps on going up so much. And so they're in real trouble. They have to maybe start selling some of their gold or doing something like that because it's a threat, right? Remember, their only power is the US dollar. Donald Trump has even said he wants to threaten any country that starts dumping US dollars with sanctions. That's how serious it is. And I mean, he's doing it, obviously, he's doing it for the right reasons for America. But if you're a global citizen, the US dollar is evil. It is your slavery. It is what keeps you a slave. And the US has had an exorbitant privilege of this. And that's why I don't know why any American wants to go on the dollar. I mean, it doesn't make any sense for you to do so. It allows you to live way beyond your means for costless, for free, alchemy. So yeah, I don't know why any American would want to get off the US dollar standard. But anyway, that's a short history of why no gold has ever been bought or sold by the Fed in 40 years.